Ukraine has lost a pilot and its first F-16 aircraft. Belarus has used aviation for the first time to shoot down a Shahed drone. They are also continuing to amass troops on the border with Ukraine. Trump has declared the threat of World War III due to the Ukrainian Armed Forces attack on the Kursk region. I'm Maria Drutska, and I will tell you the latest important news. I was waiting for official information, not just sensational headlines from Western media, and here it is. The General Staff has confirmed the death of the F-16 pilot and the loss of the first aircraft we had waited for so long. During the repelling of a missile strike by Russia on the territory of Ukraine on 26 of August, F-16 fighters were deployed alongside air defense units. During the air battle, the F-16 aircraft demonstrated their high effectiveness with their onboard weapons downing 4 enemy cruise missiles, said General Staff. During the approach to the next target, contact was lost with one of the aircraft. It was later determined that the aircraft has crashed and the pilot died. A special commission from the Ministry of Defense has been appointed to investigate the cause of the crash and is working in the area where the plane went down. Earlier, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing sources in the Ukrainian Air Force, that the likely cause was the pilot error. Later, CNN published, citing its own source, stating that Ukrainian Armed Forces do not consider pilot error to be the cause of the incident. CNN also added that international experts will be invited to participate in the investigation. The first to report the death of Moonfish was the mayor of Lutsk. He wrote that 30-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Alexei Mess died on August 26, 2024, during a combat mission to defend the territorial integrity and independence of Ukraine. The Ukrainian Air Force reported today that Mess was awarded the rank of colonel after his death. He served under the contract and was assigned to the personnel of the military unit as a squadron support commander and deputy commander of the operations group. Later, Mayor corrected his post on Facebook, removing the mentioning of the pilot's death. It seems that Ukrainian side first did not want this story to be publicized until the official investigation was complete, which in my opinion is normal and logical. And unfortunately, Western media always chase headlines and sensations, but I understand this is their job, of course, and they compete to obtain sensational information with each other. Alexei Mess was one of the first Ukrainian pilots trained on Western F-16 fighter jets in Denmark. His comrade called that he was a skilled pilot and successfully completed his first missions on the F-16 as soon as they arrived in Ukraine at the end of July. In 2022, Moonfish and Juice traveled to Washington to meet with American lawmakers in an effort to convince Western allies, particularly the United States, to allow the transfer of F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Unfortunately, both heroes have died. Various versions are considered regarding F-16 catastrophe, including friendly fire of their air defense systems, technical malfunction, and pilot error, but the exact reasons will be known only after the investigation is completed. You were so loud. You were so loud. I was doing a job. The most important conclusion here is this. Ukrainian pilot died, a warrior who defended Ukraine and the Ukrainian people, an officer who was trained for the F-16 for a very long time. The equipment doesn't really matter, although we have been waiting for it for a long time, but they have no meaning without people, without pilots. The equipment is always destroyed during the war, and this is normal. Western partners hopefully give us much more equipment, but you cannot bring a man back. And he wanted to fly it on F-16, and he wanted to defend Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So, eternal glory to hero. Now, let's figure out what's happening with Belarus. Last night, Belarus used aviation for the first time to shoot down a drone, according to Belaruski Hayun. The monitoring channel reports that during last night's Russian attack on Ukraine, one of the Shahed once again flew into Belarusian territory in the Yelsk district. At that time, the Belarusian Air Forces scrambled the fighter jets, which chased the drone for about 20 minutes and shot it down. Thus, this is likely the first recorded instance where a Belarusian Air Force fighter attempted to destroy an actual military target in the sky, a Russian kamikaze drone of the Shahed type. On the evening of August 25th, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine announced the amassing of Belarusian troops near the border and urged Minsk to immediately cease unfriendly actions. The tone of the statement alarmed Ukrainians and raised concerns about Belarusian intention. However, the border service states that the situation is under control. The MFA, in its statement, refers to intelligence data from Ukrainian agencies. According to this data, the armed forces of the Republic of Belarus, under the guise of exercise, are concentrating a significant number of personnel in the Gomel region near Ukraine's northern borders, approximately in the direction of Kiev and Chernihiv. Special operation forces of Belarus, tanks, artillery, multiple launch rocket systems, air defense systems, and engineering equipment have been relocated there. The presence of former Russian Wagner PMC mercenaries has also been detected. On August 10, Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko ordered troops to the Ukrainian border, allegedly due to a provocation by a Ukrainian drone, which, according to Minsk, entered the Mogilev region of Belarus and was shot down by air defense. Today, Lukashenko stated that he would never order his troops to go beyond Belarus borders. Recently, the Lukashenko regime reported the downing of Ukrainian drones over Belarusian territory. At that time, the self-proclaimed president of the country threatened that in the event of repetition of such provocations, the Belarusian side reserves the right to take retaliatory measures to protect its territory. Everyone knows that the potato dictator only opens his mouth to lie, so such assurance should be treated accordingly. Meanwhile, the border guards of Ukraine do not observe any accumulation of movement of Belarusian military forces or assets in closely proximity to Ukraine's state border, said Colonel Andriy Demchenko, spokesperson for the State Border Guard Service of Ukraine, on August 29th. All components of our country's defense forces fully control the border along its entire length from Volyn to Chernihiv, and no unusual situations have been observed directly along the border lines. Furthermore, we do not observe any movement of equipment or personnel, nor any significant buildup on Belarusian army units near our border, he said. Well, all developments on Belarusian territory are closely monitored by intelligence and the Ministry of Defense, as well as the State Border Service, to understand how the situation is evolving and whether it poses a threat to Ukraine, so that all components of the defense forces which are reinforcing this direction can respond to any action. Trump has warned of the threat of the World War III due to the Ukrainian Armed Forces attack on the Kursk region. The invasion of the Kursk region by the armed forces of Ukraine, he said, could trigger the start of World War III, said presidential candidate Donald Trump. Look at what's happening in Ukraine. They are advancing on Russia. They are facing World War III. The Independent quotes Trump. The Kremlin commented on the former US president's position, stating that Western countries are escalating the conflict to the limit. Many countries of the so-called collective West are already deeply involved in this conflict, and, to put it simply, are directly involved in this conflict. Such actions as the Kursk region are certainly acts that escalate tensions to the limit. Therefore, there is reason for concern, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told. Trump has repeatedly stated that he intends to achieve a quick end to the war in Ukraine if he wins the presidential elections, which will be held very soon this year. During the June 27th pre-election debate with US President Joe Biden, Trump once again promised that if re-elected, he would be able to end the conflict very quickly before his official inauguration. At the same time, he noted that Washington should not be spending money because of the war in Ukraine. Well, let me know, guys, what your thoughts are about Trump's loud statements. Is it really more for his campaign and voters, or he actually thinks so? Well, that's it for today, and I want to thank all of you for supporting Ukraine, watching Ukrainian content. Please like this video, and if you really like it and you want more videos like this, you can support channel's development on Patreon or buy me a coffee. See you soon, and Slava Ukraini!